If the Saints want to start the season 2-0, they'll need to knock off a familiar foe. We're in Charlotte as the squad gets ready for a division battle against the Carolina Panthers. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dome at Home Live, presented by Sanderson Farms. I'm Erin Summers. Throughout the show, we'll bring you pregame warm-ups live. But first, let's check in Charlotte with John DeShazer, who's here to give us the breakdown, presented by Tony Statrice. JD, how are you doing?
Doing well. A little toasty in Charlotte. It's supposed to be pretty warm. Hopefully the team is hydrated as it was last week in Jacksonville for the season opener, Aaron. So, we want to get it on here and see if the Saints can get to 2-0.
JD, availability became the name of the game this week as several players were added to the injury report. One player that we knew that would be out is center Eric McCoy. How are things going to shift on the line for this matchup against the Panthers?
Well, he was injured during the first series against Green Bay. Cesar Ruiz moved over from right guard to center. And actually, the Saints drafted him to play center last year. But McCoy was so good at it that they never were able to get Ruiz into the lineup at center. That's why they put him at right guard. He moved over last week. He was phenomenal considering the circumstances, and he will be there again today. Calvin Throckmorton will be at right guard. So the Saints pretty much have figured out how they want to use that rotation. They looked very good against Green Bay. Hopefully they can hold up just as well against Carolina.
Defensively, the rest of the names that will be out, there are 4 defensive players. 3 of them are linebackers, one being Juwan Alexander, who moved on to the IR. He will be unavailable until week 5 now. JP, how are people going to get to fill in for his position in the linebacker slot?
Well, primarily that'll probably be Caden Ellis and Zach Bond. Now, Zach Bond is the guy who's got a lot of speed. He was drafted last year. The Saints have high hopes for him. They believe in him, and hopefully he can come in and fill that spot. Quan Alexander, as we know, an outstanding linebacker in terms of speed, coverability, sideline-to-sideline pursuit. He was, again, really good in the season opener, but the Saints have to fill that void, and it's more than likely going to be Zach Bond who will fill that void for him.
We're watching Marshawn Lattimore, the corner, who was a game-time decision. He had surgery on his thumb earlier this week. Expect to see Paulson Adebo maybe filling in for him if he's unable to go.
Well, Adebo's going to start at the other corner, probably Marshawn at the right corner, so they're pretty much set there. Now, if Marshawn can't go, it's probably going to be Desmond Trufant. He's been in camp a little bit longer than Bradley Roby. Bradley Roby signed, and the Saints have high hopes in him. He's a good cover corner. He's an 8-year veteran. He has 30-plus career interceptions while playing for Houston and also another team. So he's a guy who is an NFL veteran. He understands how to play the game. But the Saints right now will probably go with Paulson Adebo and Desmond Trufant if Marshawn Lattimore can't go. The good thing is Marshawn was a participant in practice on Friday, so we'll see exactly whether or not he's able to go here against the Panthers.
How important then is it going to be for the defensive line to apply pressure on quarterback Sam Darnold for the Panthers in order to help out things in the secondary?
Well, it always goes hand in hand. If you can pressure the quarterback, if you can get him off schedule, you can help the secondary by making him throw it a little bit faster than he wants to, or maybe holding on to the football a little bit longer than he wants to. Now, if you can get to him, that's a big thing. Cam Jordan on the left end, of course, he is going to be counted on to do that. But you don't have Marcus Davenport at that right defensive end. So maybe Peyton Turner, the rookie, makes his debut in this game. And also Carl Granderson can play a big role because, again, Marcus Davenport on injured reserve. He won't be here for the next several weeks. So someone has to step in and fill that void. Might be those 2 young guys.
All right, JD, thank you so much. Enjoy the heat there in Charlotte, and hopefully it'll be a good one. Thanks, John. And a reminder that fans can watch the Saints at Panthers at noon Central on Fox. We know that Saints fans are going to be tuning in all over the country. So let's take a look at the Black and Gold Roll Call presented by LA Lottery.
Hello, Who Dat Nation. My name is John Loving, representing New Orleans Saints from Normal, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Courtney.
And I'm Easton. And I'm Bev. And I'm Kenley.
Jake.
And we have Levi and Drew with us, and we're repping the New Orleans Saints all the way from Bellevue, Nebraska. Woo!
My name's Deborah. I'm in Smithville, Tennessee, and I'm a diehard Saints fan. Let's go, Saints! Beat the Panthers!
My name is Becca from Oklahoma City. Go Saints! Woo!
Hey, we're Lafayette, Louisiana. We're the Davises. We're ready to represent.
Week 1 in Jacksonville was like a coming out party for tight end Juwan Johnson. I caught up with Johnson following his 2-touchdown performance in this week's Player Spotlight presented by Microsoft. I'm Erin Summers here with the Saints Player Spotlight. It's tight end Juwan Johnson. Juwan, it's been a big week for you. It's your birthday. You had 2 touchdowns against the Green Bay Packers. What excited you most about that win?
Obviously the game to start off with. I mean, I know that was something that was going into. It was going to be a crazy weekend if I had a big game, and that's exactly what happened. We came out with a win, which is most important. And then my birthday was right after, so my phone was blowing up, and I was like, look, I get to you people when I can. I do have not practice, but workouts and meetings and things like that. So just been really kind of overwhelmed with that, but just, reaching out to as many people as I can. And also, them congratulating me and things like that. So it's been a lot. It's been a crazy 24, 48, but it's time to get back to work tomorrow, which is pretty good.
You made the transition from wide receiver to tight end over this past offseason. How comfortable are you in that role now?
I feel really comfortable. I mean, it's kind of like, I wouldn't say I was tight end last year, but I was really in a role at receiver where I was blocking a good amount. So I already had that confidence going into it. And, them having that call in the offseason, one of our now quarterbacks coach called me and said, we just want to move you to tight end. I was pretty happy, not because I didn't like receiver or anything. I just think it was another opportunity where they could utilize me. They always move someone to utilize someone, so it's not like they're just moving me just to discard me, but to kind of evaluate a situation. So I felt really good to be put in a position where I could be used, be valued, and kind of make plays for the team. And so it kind of good to have that kind of come into fruition a couple of days ago.
We saw some of it with some of the crazy catches that you had against Green Bay, your height, your ability to get to a ball. What intangibles do you bring to that position?
Just the attitude, honestly. There's a lot of guys in the room who just have the attitude to just go get it, willing to do anything. You got guys like Griff who's playing fullback and tight end at the same time. You have Trout who has a willingness attitude to go block, and you got guys like Nick who hasn't played yet, but he's a guy who's going to do anything. So I feel like Dan Rochard is doing a pretty good job in us kind of instilling that mentality to just go out there and do your job and do it to the best of your ability. So we just kind of all bought into that, and people are kind of seeing what we're doing in that tight end room.
People are seeing a lot of you outside of the tight end room and on social media. You have over 2 million followers on TikTok. Yeah. What is it about you and your wife, Shannon, that people are drawn to?
Oh, man. I would say it's really her. I mean, she's just so joyful, so in the spotlight of where she can just be herself. This is something that she's always wanted to do. Everybody always talks about her personality when we were in college. And people were just like, we need a show, Shannon. And so honestly, her just using this platform right now and me being in it, me being able to see it firsthand, people just get to see why I fell in love with her. So it's just a good way of just like showing me outside of a football helmet to kind of see my personality as well.
Is there anything that she's asked you to do that you said absolutely not?
There are some times where she'll ask me to just like, I see this trend, like you put on like a dress. So I'm just like, Shannon, like this is, you're tapping into some lines that I just don't want to go into. But it's always been fun with her. That's been the one thing about it. I mean, as long as she's happy, as long as she's, I put a smile on her face, that's kind of the biggest thing about it.
What have you enjoyed about New Orleans, the city, and living here?
Yeah, it's been great, honestly. Like, I know I can go places and it's so crazy how people recognize me, because a lot of times I'm in a helmet, but, just with this whole social media thing, a lot of people recognize me, And we just have great conversation because I'm very much so a people's person. So, me going out and, we'll be out, going out to eat, and we'll meet somebody and we'll have dinner with them at our house like the next week. So it's kind of crazy how things happen and how New Orleans is, how it's just that Southern hospitality is so true when it comes to New Orleans. So I've been really liking it here.
Looking forward to your next opponent in the Panthers. What needs to take place for the Saints to come out with another big win?
Absolutely. Obviously, we want to come out with a win, but at the end of the day, it's never about, the opponents. It's always about us. I just feel like, we're always competing against ourselves when it comes to, just putting points on the board. It's just another opponent that we're going up against. We know their tendencies. Obviously, we played them last year with the whole new coaching staff and things like that. So it was just coming out with a game plan that we kind of had last year, doing what we do. We know what kind of things that they're bringing to the table. So we just exploit those holes and come out with another win.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on this player spotlight. This Juwan Johnson, tight end. Good luck the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me so much. Appreciate you.
Really enjoyed that conversation with Johnson. He was a pleasure to talk to, and they're doing a lot of fun things on his TikTok account. And this is the first official road game for the Saints, and we know they do not travel alone. Let's take a look at all of those fans who made the trip with our Invisalign fan cam.
We're here from Pensacola, Florida, seeing the Saints play today. And Charlotte, what you got the prediction for?
Saints by 7.
All right, we got 24-17 Saints.
Hey, we're from Florence, South Carolina, here to go for the Saints, predicting a 28-14 win for the Saints. They go Saints!
Woo! We're going to take this win home for the New Orleans Saints, and we're feeling really good about Jameis Winston, and I think we're going to do it!
Don't forget, you can have a chance to win big prizes like tickets or a signed Saints jersey all season long. We've teamed up with Waiter to not only help you get free delivery on game day, but you can sign up for a chance to win game tickets, sideline passes, and more. Just sign up on the Waiter app and use the code SAINTS21 or visit our website, neworleanssaints.com. Now let's check out which fans are giving game day energy fueled by Chevron. Here's a look at a few tweets that are coming in this morning. Good morning, beautiful people. It's Saints game day. Let's get this. And of course, a nice little Soul Train action, some dancing for the morning. It's game day. Like to see everybody supporting the Saints on Twitter. JD, you have to love how hype our fans get. Hopefully they are out in full force with you in Charlotte.
Aaron, Saints fans are road warriors. Wherever the team is, they are, and they are extremely active. Unfortunately for the Saints, they have several inactives in this game. And here are the Acadian Ambulance inactives. You'll see them listed. But among those guys who won't be playing in this one, defensive end Marcus Davenport and linebacker Quan Alexander. We mentioned him earlier. Quan Alexander being out, pretty significant because the Saints' depth at linebacker is affected. He won't play. Neither will Pete Werner. Neither will Chase Hansen. So the Saints have to dig a little bit deeper into that rotation at linebacker. And not having Davenport, well, Davenport was an impactful defender in that first regular season game against Green Bay. He came up with a huge sack against Aaron Rodgers. He was extremely influential on that defensive line, and he has to be replaced probably by Carl Granderson and Peyton Turner, the rookie.
We're almost to kickoff. Thank you to John DeShazer, who joined us in Charlotte. Don't forget, you can watch this game at noon Central on Fox. And of course, tune in right here for post-game comments from Coach Sean Payton and players. We're going to leave you with a little message from the Jason Neville Funky Soul Band. Enjoy the game.
Funky Soul Band. We are at the yard. We're ready for this game. The Saints are playing the Panthers. Saints, we want to win. We need you to do that.